You won't believe this, but this crazy lady actually hit me with a $2,000 fine for swimming in the lake that's been mine for over a decade. Yeah, standing there waist deep in that crisp, clear water. The sweet smell of wild jasmine floating across my yard when Karen Mitchell, our HOA boss, comes charging down my dock like she's on a mission from hell. Her pumps clacking against the old wood, waving this certified letter like a sword, barking, "You're in violation, Ryan. $2,000 or else." And my little girl Sophie, just 8, stops splashing around, her big eyes full of confusion, asking why some stranger's mad at us for playing in our own backyard. The rage hit me like a gut punch, metallic and bitter, because this wasn't just about a swim. It was her trying to snatch a piece of my family's soul, that spring-fed paradise my grandpa snagged in 1952 for a measly $900, long before her fancy Oak Ridge Meadows HOA even dreamed of existing. Look, I'm Ryan Caldwell, 42, civil engineer by day, single dad navigating the mess of a fresh divorce, and those weekends with Sophie at the lake house in Georgia. They're my lifeline. The creaky old dock I built with my own hands, cedar shavings mixing with that earthy lake scent, her giggling as she hands me the wrong nails, or us casting lines at dawn, talking about life while fish ripple the surface like secrets bubbling up. Grandpa left me more than land, 18 acres of heaven with water so pure you can spot trout darting 15 feet down. He left memories, like the musty tackle box that still sits in my shed, reminding me of lazy Sundays learning to bait a hook, the plop of lures hitting mirror-smooth water. And now this outsider from New York, Karen, waltzes in 2 years ago, buys the biggest McMansion on the block, spotless black SUV always gleaming, lawn like a golf course. And boom, she's HOA president in months, preaching about elevating standards, which really meant turning neighbors into suspects with her ruler and stopwatch. Under the old prez, Mr. Harlan, dues were $50 a month. Covered streetlights, holiday lights, keeping things neighborly. But Karen jacked him to $200, claiming we needed expert oversight. And what did we get? Her patrolling like a drill sergeant, measuring fence heights to the inch, fining the Parkers $700 for a kiddie pool in a heat wave, or sweet old Mrs. Ellis getting dinged $300 for her 2 bird feeders. Excessive yard clutter, she called it, like gnomes were a crime wave. I watched folks get picked apart, whispers about her demanding cuts from contractors, and it ate at me. Why target the little guys? Turns out, her power trip stemmed from some deep-seated control freak vibe, maybe from her failed real estate gigs up north, where she got booted for shady deals. But here she saw our quiet suburb as her kingdom to rule and raid. It started innocent enough, me teaching Sophie to skip stones near the reeds, her tongue poking out in focus, when those sharp heel clicks shatter the peace. Karen marching up like a storm cloud, clipboard in hand, face twisted in that I've never been told no smugness. "Ryan, we have a compliance issue," she snaps, voice slicing through the birdsong, and Sophie's rod dips as she stares. "What's wrong?" I ask, water chilling my skin suddenly. She flips pages dramatically. "This pond's a shared amenity under HOA Rule 52C, all water fund needs board okay." "Shared?" I laugh at first, but she's dead serious. "Rules apply to everyone, Mr. Caldwell." Hands me this pink slip like a traffic ticket, demanding permits for my own damn pond, ignoring my survey showing the line runs 40 feet into the water, inked before her HOA was a blip. That night, Sophie's question haunts me. "Daddy, why can't we play in our pond?" And it lights a slow burn, turning rage into resolve. I dig into Georgia property laws, fueled by black coffee and midnight fury, discovering this gem. Rights from before the HOA can't be overridden, grandfathered in, solid as oak. So I fire back a certified letter, polite but pointed, citing code sections, attaching Grandpa's deed, my survey, precedents that'd bury her claims. "Nice try, Karen, but legally you're out of bounds." Thought that'd end it, but oh no. She doubles down, sends her sister's hubby, this slick lawyer, with gold-embossed threats about liability risks from my unsafe peer, and starts a smear fest on the neighborhood Facebook, posting fuzzy pics of my pond with captions like, "Hidden dangers lurking," suggesting my clean water's a biohazard, whispering at the store that I'm some eco-villain messing with drainage, turning folks like the Lopez's cold when I wave. Her motive? Pure ego and greed. She wasn't just enforcing, she was protecting her skim, because questioning her meant exposing how dues vanished into her pockets. I hire a water tester, $250 well spent. Results show it's purer than bottled stuff. Ecosystem thriving. Posted online and cracks show neighbors chiming in. If Ryan's pond's toxic, my faucet's poison. But Karen escalates. Vandalizes my pier one night. Cables cut. Boards loose. My cams catch her shadowy figure, desperate to silence me before I uncover more. She slaps liens, $10,000 on my house for disruption, floods mailboxes with glossy lies painting me as a menace, photoshopped pics making my yard look like a dump, even threatens Mrs. Ellis's grandkid at school. Tell Grandma to back off or bad things happen. Crossing into pure evil, her fear of exposure turning her from bully to beast. That's when the tide turns. Her overreach wakes the sleeping giant. Our secret group swells to 35 homes, folks like the Parkers sharing kickback stories, the contractor she blackballed giving sworn statements about her 20% shakedowns. We pore over finances she finally coughs up. Budget ballooned 400%. $35,000 yearly to her management firm at her address. Lawn crew billed triple for the same mow. Legal fees padding her family's personal dramas. Divorce consults, business flops, totaling $162,000 siphoned. Her empire built on theft while potholes stayed and lights flickered. Motive clear. She craved control to hide the grift, resenting old-timers like me who wouldn't bow. Cut to the annual meeting room packed, 41 families humming with tension, me up front with slides, Karen gaveling like a queen on thin ice. 2 years back, dues were pocket change. I start, voice steady but fire building. Now look where the cash went. Straight to her kin's accounts. Slides flip, inflated bills, phantom services. The room gasps, murmurs rise. She's robbing us blind. Mrs. Ellis stands, voice quivering then steel. You threatened my boy over tomatoes? For what, your scams? Karen shrieks. Lies from a troublemaker. But the sheriff steps in, cuffs clicking. Karen Mitchell, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, tampering. Her face crumples, venom spitting as she's let out. You'll ruin this place without me! 6 months on, she's doing 2 years, ordered $180,000 back. Her bro-in-law disbarred, 12 months inside. We clawed back $150,000, turned it into a fund for scholarships. First one to Mrs. Ellis's grandkid, studying law now, inspired by the fight. Ponds open for community dips, supervised, laughter echoing where fines once flew, values up 15%, meetings like barbecues, dues down to $40. But here's the twist that keeps me up. Are HOA's saviors or setups for tyrants like her? They promise order, but breed bullies. Maybe we'd thrive without them, just good neighbors talking it out. Or am I wrong, overlooking the chaos that could follow? What do you think? Ever dealt with an HOA nightmare that turned criminal? Drop your stories below. Tell me if she got what she deserved, or if the system's the real villain. Share if justice like this gives you hope, or if it's all rigged against the little guy. Hit subscribe for more real-life takedowns next, how I exposed a spying board in Florida. Let's chat in the comments. Your take might spark the next revolution.